Hey guys, so I hope you guys are having a damn good Sunday today. So I want to do this a little bit early to go ahead and get this thing out the way. And I want to go over some stocks to watch this week. And I'm thinking about doing this every Sunday where, I kind of show you guys the trades that I'm planning out, what are ones that I'm watching, some levels, and then pretty much what's just going on with a lot of them. And today I want to look at four of them. Okay, look at Meta, Google, SoFi, and Cracker Barrel. Okay, so those are the four that I want to look at, and I want to take you guys to the charts so we can go through them. Something just to add to your trading plan, whatever your trading plan is this week, as well as some levels to keep in mind. Now, me personally, I'm looking at these to hold for longer term, not, in and out type thing, probably a week or two, 3 weeks. I know for SoFi, I'm looking to get a further out expiration to kind of let that thing play out. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know I talk a lot about SoFi. I've been holding and trading SoFi since it was a couple of dollars, $6, $7, and all the way on up to the 25 that it closed out on Friday. All right, so we're gonna go to the charts, get into this real quick. So that I can show you guys exactly what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking about doing. Okay, so the very first one we're going to look at is Cracker Barrel. Now, my thing with Cracker Barrel, we see what's going on with Cracker Barrel. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, they're down. They're at a loss because of a logo. Now, I don't know when we start considering logos woke, but hey, that's just the time that we're in right now. So the thing that when the whole news with Cracker Barrel first hit, my first thought was to come to their daily time frame. Okay, they've been up for quite a while, but if you guys see here, this green dotted line here is my 200 EMA. Okay, I was waiting to see if we got below that. Now we're below this. This is the 50 EMA on the daily time frame. Okay, I wanted to see if we got below that 200 EMA, and if we did, then we could begin to test these lower levels that we have down here at the bottom. And as you can see, we did come down here and test, what is it, 50.22, a little further down up in there. We got down here, so that low was 50.27. Um, and I wanted to see us get back below that. If we can get back below that, then we can definitely begin to retest that $47 level that I have here. Then I have another level at 42, and then I got it going all the way down here to the 30s. Okay, back to those high 30s. But my main thing before I made a move on going full bearish on this thing is to see it get below that 200 EMA. And as you guys can see here, we did close. We pushed down here. Okay, this was on August 21st, and then this was on here on Friday, where we actually did close below that 200. So I want to see us open below where it closed on Friday to decide if I want to make my move on going all in. Now, this one in particular, I'm looking at. Um, I'm probably going to get like an October expiration on this because if things continue to go the way that they're going, then we can definitely expect more downside. And it could take a little bit of time to get back down into that high 30s, that 39, $40 level, if it doesn't push lower. But if it breaks below this level right up in here around that $39 level, then of course we can begin to see us retesting these lower mid 20s. That would be a damn good play, but I definitely I want to see how it plays out, okay? Because people are quick to, next thing you know, we get a news that they're getting a new CEO. They're gonna keep the previous logo. Just to think that all this records has to do with a logo is insane. But we can also see things switch up at any time. They also have earnings coming up on September 23rd, and so that's why I was looking to get an expiration all the way out. Multiple contracts, leave some runners to kind of see how this thing goes, but definitely take profit along the way because I definitely anticipate more downside from it, just simply based on the news that we've gotten far as revenue loss and stock value loss and all of that. Okay, so we shall see. So definitely just keep this one on your radar. If in order for me to in any manner get into calls on Cracker Barrel, I would definitely need to see it back above that 50 EMA on the daily time frame. Because a lot of these plays that I've been looking at are longer holds versus day trade. So I'm not interested in calls on Cracker Barrel at all. All right. So now let's look at Meta. Okay. Now, if you have not heard, Meta and Google have signed a $10 billion cloud deal. So we can definitely see some reaction from that. Okay. Now, let me go to the 4 hour on Meta. I was in a trade with Meta because I caught this bull pennant we have here. You guys see here the pennant, or you may look at it as a bull flag, but initially it's a pennant. Where you have this pole here, and then you have that wedge right there on that, and then we pushed up. That right there was a damn good play right there. So I was definitely keeping an eye on Meta. I trade Meta occasionally on short term day trading, or I may hold it a day or two. But this one in particular, I held for a week and got out up here. It was a few dollars shy, $800, where Meta almost hit up here around this area. And what I wanted to see though, as you guys see where I have this green line here, I wanted to see them get above that before I make my move. So let me get my highlighter. So right up in here, okay, you guys see up in here, I wanted to see it get above that before I got in and made my move. As you can see, we did push above that, but I didn't get in just yet. Okay, I kind of let that pennant play out, and when it fully formed, I got in, and then I ended up, getting out around that area right there. So it was a good play. But I'm still watching it to see if we get back above that 50 EMA on that 4 hours. So I've been looking at the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame on Meta to get into another play, hold it, and see how this Google deal really takes effect on the movement here. So I'm currently in a Meta trade already, but I'm looking to add to it. And get into a new position. But I do have 10 contracts on Meta currently. And probably tomorrow, I'm looking to come out of 5 of them and leave the other 5 as runners. So really depending on how that looks, if I'm going to add more, get into a new position, or let the rest of those 5 play out. So that's where I'm at with Meta right now. But I'm definitely just keeping it on my radar for that Google deal that they just signed. Okay. So that would lead directly to get into Google. Okay, and let's see, here we go. Now, I'm not looking to jump into Google yet, even though, with this whole deal that's taking place with Facebook, I'm not looking to jump in just yet because I want to see a retest to a lower level before I get into calls, before I'm just hopping into the hype. Okay, that's one thing you can't do. Don't hop into the hype. So with this one, you guys see where I have this green box here is where I am looking to see if we can get back to um, around this area here. So I'm kind of looking at that 201 level, 202 area to get in for my call. So I want to see it come back down. Now, if you guys see up here where, let me bring this out a little bit, where we had this, got this rejection sitting here, and it pushed all the way back down up in that area. But I still want to see it come back down some more before I hop in, because as of right now, it closed out at what, 206. So I want to see it come back down here in that 201, 202 area before I get into calls. And then I'm looking to get in with probably like a 30 days on my expiration, okay, to hold it back up, to ride it back up, and not hop in just yet, okay. We have to kind of take into consideration these rejection areas up here at the top. I'm going to go to the daily time frame really quickly, okay. So I definitely want to see it get back down here to this level and then ride it back up to 10, possibly 212, but we will probably need to hold it longer because, we got other hurdles we will need to break through before we can get back up there to those tops. So Google is one of those ones that you hold for long term. Google owns what? About 90% of internet search. So it's one of those ones that just will continue to be a growth stock. So holding it long term with shares as well as trading is definitely something that has been, I've probably been doing that for about a year now, trading it. But holding it, I've been holding Google for years, for a while. So this is just one of those ones to add to your radar for long-term hold and something for your growth in your portfolio, right? So keep that one on your radar. I'm waiting for that pullback. That's my area. 200, 201, 202. Come back there, make my move, get into my calls, 30-day expiration, and let it play out. Okay. So the last one I want to look at really quickly is Sofi. Now, talk about SoFi a lot, okay? Holding it for years as well as holding it since it was like $6, $7 before it even got to where it is now. And SoFi has been facing some rejection. I said in a video that I posted about stocks to watch that I definitely think is going to play out big time over the next few years. SoFi is one of them, okay? Because when you look at the way things are going on a digital aspect, you have the banking that we have now, Bank of America, Chase, Capital One, all of these banks, but you have to look at where things are going in a digital space. SoFi is going to be one of those ones that I believe will dominate in digital banking and investing and a number of other things. Now, if you've used SoFi or you've seen SoFi, you know that you have a bank account, savings account, you can invest, you can trade options. And of course, they also have partnership with Samsung for their Samsung Pay and other integrations. Okay, so you have the traditional banking, and then you have that modern banking that we're really going to see thrive as we get more and more and more into digital assets and things like that. And so the younger, I won't exactly say the younger generation, but now we have people who literally use Cash App as their primary bank. And I think that that's going to kind of fall into how they do everything with their money, digital wise, digitally. SoFi, Robinhood, Cash App. As unfortunate as it is to say, people actually use Cash App as a primary bank, it's just the way things are kind of moving. And that's why you see a lot of these regulations changing with a lot of these platforms and the type of information they collect. And it's a lot to that, okay? So SoFi is just going to be one of those growth stocks to add to your portfolio to hold long term, especially while it's low. Now, if you had got in around $6, $7, $8, then you definitely are seeing a massive, massive growth on this stock for where it is now from where it was just last year. Okay, so with SoFi, I pretty much knew that once we got up here, we were going to be seeing a whole lot of rejections. The trades that I had on this one, I made sure to close out on Friday because if we could not get above this level, it was more than likely probably going to push down. Now, I didn't reject too hard up here on Friday, but we definitely can probably expect it to come back down some more because it's always a little fight around this area. And then we push up to more like 26, and we push up to 28, 29, and going further up. Okay, so the levels that I'm looking at for this one to hold, now I'm not talking about a day trade, a hold 30 days on my expiration, 60 days on my expiration, is to push up to these higher levels right up in here. So we're going to have to get above where we closed out at 2502 to make our way on up to that 2580, 2590, pushing up to 2690, and then pushing higher up to those lower 30s. Okay, that's just my three levels at the top that I'm looking at over time. Multiple contracts, sell some, keep runners, and allow it to hit every level. Okay, and it's definitely going to be a bit of a fight getting up there, but nevertheless, it'll get there. Okay. Now, another thing is this green box around here is exactly where I am looking for it to pull back to before I make my move. Okay. Now, long as this 50 can hold right here, we can probably get a retest at that 50 EMA and then begin to push back up, which is around $23, $22. So I'm looking for it to come back to 22, 20, that 23, $22 level to get in and then ride it back up. But we can definitely expect that if it comes back down, we retest back at that 24, 25. We get a retest at about 30 to 50% below and then push back up and potentially hit that 25, 80, 25, 90 level. So just watch it. Don't be too quick to enter. Allow a pullback to take place. This is the 4 hour time frame, so you see we definitely have been pushing up. So we can expect it to come back down, and that's when I'm looking to make my move. Okay, I don't want to hop in where it's at yet because this is like a level. Let's go back to the daily chart. We're gonna come out some. Okay, so you can kind of see how this thing has been going. Okay, and this is particularly why I knew to get out of my trade on Friday. Okay, up in here, got that rejection here, rejection there. Go back over, and then as you guys can see where we are right now. Okay, so I got out of that trade on Friday because we're at that level where a whole lot of rejection has taken place over time. Okay, this shit right here is way back in 2021, and then this is right now. Okay, so always look as far to the left on the charts as you can, especially with a stock like this that's been up. Okay, you guys see here, this is my top level here that I'm going to be looking to get my position open, and then let it ride up. Okay, this right here is its all-time high. Okay, so that is just something to take into consideration. Go to the left, far to the left as possible. Go to the daily, go to the weekly to see where everything was and where those heavy projections are, so you'll know where to plan your entries and your exit. And these right here are currently my exit targets that I'm looking at, but I'm still looking for it to come back to that 22 as low as possible before I get in, so that I can get the maximum return as it's returning back up to those highs. Okay, so keep that so far on your radar. They have earnings coming up in November, so we got plenty of time to kind of let that thing play out before earnings get here. I'm usually not playing on earnings unless I'm super confident in that play. Um, but Sofi is one of those ones that I am confident when earnings take place. But even if it does pull back, I'm not really worried about it because when it does, I get in, I buy more shares as well as into my positions because I already know it's going back up. Just the key thing is having time on your side, making sure your expiration is far out enough to let it play out. So those are four to keep on your radar this week to kind of plan out some long-term trades, or if you're day trading, then you know it's definitely going to be some moves there with all four of these companies, especially Cracker Barrel. We may definitely see some high volatility on that one, kind of up and down. Um, SoFi is more, I'm gonna say a slow burn, but is a lower risk play, okay, versus Meta, Google, and Cracker Barrel actually is a lower risk play too. It's not those premiums aren't as expensive, but they have been pushing up because when the volatility is high, the volume is kicking in. You will begin to see the cost of those premiums to go up significantly. So SoFi would be your best bet if you're new to it and you're looking for something lower risk. And then the others, of course, you just gotta kind of plan according to your account. So I hope you add these to your list, do your own due diligence, check the charts yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next one.